Yo, hey, what's going on? It's Wife Dizzy and you at the Red Pill Experience, but this is the Roundtable edition. Today in studio, I got a couple of radio hosts of their own, and I appreciate everybody that came in today. We're going to start to my left and we just going to go clockwise. Shout out, what up, my boy Ced?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Man,
how y'all doing?
Tell the people about you real quick.
Oh, man, hey, it's Ceddy Ced, you know what I'm saying, host of Wanna Argue, Wednesdays on IG Live at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Come check me out, man. But this is the place to be. I had to come here, man. I appreciate you for having me.
Hey, appreciate you coming, bro.
Yeah.
And we got Jose from Yatu Sides. What up, man?
I will go ahead and introduce myself.
Yeah.
Yatu Sides.
Yeah.
So, I'm on every Monday night, every Wednesday night from 9 to 11 p.m. And just where I host entrepreneurs, business owners, and local artists and people in the community who are doing their thing. So thanks for having me on, David.
Man, I ain't even really got to introduce you because I see my mama and my tia be watching you. I be like, man, I don't even see them on mine. Shit.
David family be my family.
I heard that.
And then last but not least, we got the one and only PL. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, man? Glad to be back on board the Red Pill Experience train.
Hey, man, it's probably like, what, your third time on here?
Yeah, man, it's like a roller coaster, man. Don't get off, just keep
I already
going.
lost count how many times he's been on.
Yeah, shit. But we gonna get right into it, and it's basically we just gonna like toss up a topic and just see where it goes. And the first thing I want to talk about is I want to ask y'all: do y'all believe in synchronicities?
Like
right place, right time.
Oh yeah, most definitely. You got to.
Yeah. Do you got any stories or something?
Personally, I mean, I probably was, right place, right time with a lady.
Yeah.
And, it's just kind of fell in my lap. But I'm just saying, like, I just believe that none of this is an accident.
Yeah.
Things kind of line up too perfectly. Sun comes up, we wake up, go down, we go to sleep. So what is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, what can you say about that?
What about you, Jose?
For me, I'm a public speaker. I love meeting people right off the bat.
Yeah.
I had a situation where I was living in Richardson area, and it was the summertime. I was out in the pool with my kids and just having a really good time. Some random guy comes out to me and he's like, "Hey, can you show me how to turn on the grills? They got the grills out, and the apartment's got a little special to it where you got to push a button, twist, and all this stuff."
Yeah.
So I went out there like, "Yeah, I got you. This and that." Helped him out, and he asked me, so I said, do you live here? Yeah, I do. Do you live here? Yeah, I do. My sister lives here too.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "What do you do for a living?" I said, I do marketing for dental offices. And the man looks at me, he goes, "My sister owns 15 dental offices."
Wow.
Come on now.
And so I'm like, you know what? Let's exchange numbers and this and that. One thing led to another, and I ended up helping his sister out with part of her offices. So it is about being at the right time, right place. But I'm really big about introducing yourself first and foremost. You never know who that other person is, what they can bring to the table. And it's crazy how I'm really big about how a person that looks the total opposite than you have so much in common with you. And we're so big sometimes on judging a book by its cover because we don't sometimes feel like we may come from the same place.
Yeah.
But even if we don't come from the same place, we kind of have the same life experiences. And from there, that's where we instantly will connect, and then we kind of go from there. So that's my little story.
Wow. What about you, Paul?
Yeah, I'm going to have to give a shout out to the whole state of Texas with my synchronicity, like right place, right time.
Yeah.
When I first moved here, like 12 years ago, it was still the pay tolls, where you had to throw the change in.
Yeah.
And so, like, I kept getting lost on that. I didn't have a GPS phone trying to get a job interview to get a new job. So I stopped at a gas station and was asking for directions to a tip service. Just so happened that the person standing behind me was like handing me their card and said, hey, I'm at this temp service right around the corner. Maybe you should stop over there.
Damn.
So I was like, hey, you know what? This may be a sign. Let me just get off this tollway. Let me go over here and holler at your little buddy. Went over there. He hooked me up with a job. I wound up there 12 years.
Wow.
And was able to completely take care of myself and set the stage for me to even be here at Fishbowl. And even Fishbowl was right place, right time.
Yep.
If I wouldn't have came in the season that I came, I never would have met you, never would have met Jose.
Yeah,
and
same thing.
that hustler spirit, hey, man, it like it's in the air, and it's hard not to want to get better and to do better when you see people around you hustling. Like, so yeah, I definitely believe in that.
Yeah, that's
shout
dope,
out
man.
to that guy.
Yeah, shout out to
He's on the Christmas list.
Yeah.
Man, so I actually have two stories that are relevant, but one's like a quick little, just funny little story, and the second one's like bigger. The first one is like 2 Thursdays ago, I was trying to stay late for work because, we got our rent coming up and stuff, so I wanted to get a little overtime. But then there was no overtime, so I was like, damn, man, I really want to stay some overtime. So I was like, man, let me go home real quick. I was going home. It's just Thursday around like 1:30 or 2, just a random Thursday. I called my cousin just to see what's up, talking to my cousin Mark. And I start pulling out the apartment complex, and I get to the light right there at the stop sign, and I look left. And it's my other cousin Eric in his car at the light, and I look next to him is my friend Lenny at the light with him, and then I look across the street at the stop sign. It's my brother, all at this random little intersection at 2 p.m. on a Thursday. When that tells me like, damn, I'm right where I'm supposed to be in my life. It's just little signs. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. And then after we called it was like, what the hell was that? I was like, I don't know. I don't know.
The odds that
everybody's at the same spot at the same time.
But also, when my apartment complex is the second story. When I first moved in there, it was like around COVID season, and I just had to hurry up and get an apartment. And then this is when me and my girl was having like a lot of problems, and I was like, man, I don't know if I really want to do this. And they gave me the keys to the apartment, and they were like, here, you in apartment 222. And I'm like, oh shit, what's up? That's balance. But then me and my girl's anniversary is 222, so it's like, damn.
The numbers and everything lined up.
It's exactly where I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be with this girl at this apartment at this place. It's balance, and it's just something that blew me away. And I just feel like we living for a greater purpose. There's a script that's already there for us to be great. We just got to be the ones to follow it.
It's written.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's funny you say that because Jose on his show last night was talking about facing fear with his guests. And I think a lot of times the devil's whole intention is to get you off your script.
Yeah.
If he can get you to be scared to go to that intersection, or to or to reach out to the guy, or for me to follow the guy over to the place, or you to stick it out with your girl, even though the devil's trying to get you to walk away.
Yeah.
That's how we miss out on certain things.
Yeah, that's how we miss out.
I like how that all came together.
Yeah.
With y'all two shows.
That's crazy because I ain't even watch.
Now you're hearing it back to back.
That's dope.
Man, actually, that'd be a little late for me because I'll be old man now. I'll be going to sleep a little early. by 9:30, I'll be in bed. Phone away.
Time to go.
Yeah, that's good.
But shit. That was topic number 1. That was a little warm-up one to get everybody in a good mood.
Yeah.
Second one is,
here we go.
Should you be having relations with a coworker? Ooh. Because I'll tell y'all why I want to ask this. At my job, it seems that everybody be tossing back and forth with everybody. And me and my girl just be like, whoa, like, first we thought everybody was nice and sweet, and then we found out, like, this person with this person, and then they switched, and then this person. Do y'all think people should have sex with their coworkers? What else, Ced?
If you're gonna do it, I mean, that's a dangerous game to be playing. Really.
Yeah,
like
it could go ugly.
I don't think you should bring relations into business. I don't think it will ever end well. You know what I'm saying? Because it kind of hinders the actual like work environment. You know what I'm saying? Because you and old girl could be sleeping together, then y'all in a fight, and y'all bring that into the work environment, and now we can't get things done.
Yeah.
So like, it was fun, but you gotta ask yourself, is it worth it?
Yeah, that's true. What up? What you think, Jose?
I'm gonna keep it 100 with you because that's just who I am. Back in the day, that was just the thing to do. I mean, I used to work in huge call centers back in the day.
Oh, call
that's
centers.
a breeding ground.
Yeah, that's what I was finna say.
That's a breeding ground for skis.
So, I mean, it was one of those things that, you with them 6 days a week, 10 hours a day, and you have sometimes. Reality is you have a stronger relationship with the people that were in next to your little group, your cubicle right next to you, than the person you're going home to every single day.
Yeah.
And so back in the day, you asked me that, I ain't gonna lie, woo. It was going down. You know what I'm saying? And then, but I'm old school, but like back then, we didn't have all the technology where you can get caught up and busted and put on blast and this and that. So
that's true.
The thing was that, and then the older you start getting, the more you keep it 100 with folks. So, hey, if we're going to do this, it is what it is. That's all it is, and that's it. But then the older I started getting, you go through stages in life.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
You start realizing you can't shit where you sleep.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
And I heard that from a wiser person, which it makes 100 sense, you know? And the thing about it is that there's temptation everywhere, man. It is what it is. But, like, I'll give you an example. So, what somebody has told me is that, you know, the saying goes, there's plenty of fish in the sea.
Yeah.
You know, why go to where you're going to be at every single day when you can, you know, find it organically somewhere else?
Yeah, what happens when y'all break up?
Exactly. I mean, and the whole thing about it is that, you know, when you start thinking bigger, it's like, if she's done this with me, what makes you think she ain't done it with someone else?
Exactly.
He just threw me an alley-oop.
Right? So, you know, I mean, I don't even like leftovers at the house.
Oh, man.
Sure don't want leftovers at the job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't like warming them up.
Yeah, no.
By the time you,
I like it fresh.
By the time you,
So, you know, my whole thing is that, you know, it's just, it's never a good idea, and it never ends well. You know what I'm saying? At the end, it never ends well.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things that it creates too many what ifs. You know what I mean? It's just not worth it at the end of the day. What about you, Paul?
Man, like you literally just threw the ball right up to the rim, because that literally happened to me. The first reason why it's dangerous, the two things people are most passionate and cuckoo about is sex and money. When you start tying them both together, that's an explosive combination. Like, I came up in the call center environment as well, and it is a breeding ground for that, because you see all of their good things and none of their bad.
Right.
They go home to a nasty house you don't know.
Yeah.
You know, they can be a bad wife at home you don't know.
Or a bad mother.
Or a bad mother. You just see, you see what was on TV last night? You start joking and building that camaraderie. But dude, bro, like I'm going taxi cab confessions. When I first moved here, I didn't know nobody. I was wide open. I met this chick, I'm gonna call her T. She was from Nashville. I was just like, oh, this is meant to be. She's from Nashville. We went to rival schools. She was hilarious. We started hanging out.
The stars lined up.
The stars lined up. I thought. Took her home for Christmas and everything. You know, trying to be serious.
After how long?
Yeah, we must have to take a whole
we were cool for like 3 or 4 months, and then we started dating for like 6 months. So we was around each other about a year.
Oh, that's not bad.
Man, just like you said. Next thing you know, start getting whispers about, hey man, you hear the T and such was standing by the car about an hour after you left, you know, that kind of stuff. Wound up, somebody else was at the job tapping it too. And now, thank God that I'm private in the fact that I wasn't out blabbing all my business, but there was people there who knew.
Yeah.
It was embarrassing. It was just kind of like, I was like, nah, so that turned me completely off from doing that. And it's because I got played. I'm just keep it real.
And they didn't see Paul again after that.
Not at all. I hope she's doing well.
Yeah.
But that left a real sour taste in my mouth after that. Because like you said, once it goes south, you know, I wasn't trying to see her at work, and she wanted to keep being friendly. I was like, nah, man.
Yeah, I got my face. You know, I ain't trying to talk to you.
Yeah. So like, I won't do that again.
Shit, a little doorknob, everybody gets spin at that.
Right, I'm glad you didn't.
Everybody
didn't have social media, because that would have been bad.
It was like, oh man,
that's real.
Now it's a whole nother attitude too.
Shit, you don't open up old wounds. Thanks, Jose.
Come here. He gonna think about it tomorrow.
Write a song about it.
Nah, but I've actually seen a few times where it went bad. Even, you know, I ain't even gonna say my working place, but there was one of my past jobs where it was a situation with this couple that started dating there, and they, you know, caused trouble in the workplace, and then they both got fired. And I was like, whoa, you know. And that's why I never think it's a good idea.
But on the flip side, just to keep 100, I've also met people who've gotten married.
Yeah,
I will say that my mom and my stepdad met at Office Depot, so you know you can meet people there.
Right, it could work. At the copy machine.
Yeah, for real. He said, hey, you want some water?
Right, the pickup line.
Yeah, what you doing for lunch? You trying to run Popeyes real quick?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. That sandwich will get you in there.
Hey, sandwich wasn't around back then, you know.
Oh, that's right.
They had that, 3 legs. That's what they had.
That 3-leg combo.
Yeah. But y'all had some good points with that. But I don't know if y'all seen it in the news. There actually been some stuff going on, and I don't know how I feel about it, but I think there's some weird going on about it. So I don't know if y'all heard. I don't know where it was, but it was this white individual, a white man. He went into some spas.
Oh yeah.
And then he murdered some ladies, and now we see this thing about Asian hate. How do y'all feel about that? Like, where does this spawn from? And how do you feel in general just about that?
Where does like the?
It was in Atlanta.
I mean, like, where does what spawn from? What do you mean?
Like, me personally, I've never in life have seen an Asian person like really receive hate like you would say like a black person, you know what I mean? Nobody. I've heard people talk super negative about black people, Mexican people, wetbags, this and that. I've never heard anybody say anything about Asians besides the stereotypical like, oh, they can't drive or something like that. So do you feel like it's more like a distraction? Like, you ever heard the term a false flag?
Yeah, most of that.
False flag doesn't mean it didn't happen. It just means like that it's a motive behind it. Reason. Yeah, it's a motive behind it. So that being said, how do you feel personally about it?
Well, I think maybe we haven't seen like the Asian hate thing because like we're not part of the Asian community.
True.
But I got to go back to like when the whole Pearl Harbor situation happened. We went over there. We dropped 2 bombs, detrimental to like the country over there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
And a lot of them migrated over here, and what I'm saying, maybe that hate still from like the war, and like how old people get, they're stuck in their ways. They already, they hate you, and that's it. Yeah. So I think situations like this just kind of like bring it to the forefront of like, hey, this is going on, but like it's kind of just not reaching the surface to like to social media or like to our phones. Now we can actually see it. It ain't call center like we can just hey man, they was sitting over there by the car. Now it's like, man, everybody's seeing them by the car. It's a video posted. You can share it and repost it every day. You know what I'm saying? So when things like that happen, it kind of brings it to the forefront.
That's true.
That's why I think it's just kind of like a more access to the things that are happening now.
Yeah. How you feel?
For me, racism is never gonna die.
That's true.
It's something that will be with everyone, and my whole thing is that I necessarily don't even blame the man. I blame the upbringing of that man. I'm really big about people do what they see and what they're around. Somewhere down the line in his upbringing, he was maybe told that maybe Asians were bad or whatever it may be. And so he automatically had that hate, towards them. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, it's one of those things that I feel when someone does something like that on a whole spiritual level, the devil got inside that man. Yeah. And took over his mind and his soul and just went off and started. And no normal person in their right mind is going to go kill, just people in general for no reason. There's something mentally upstairs that's just not all there. And they have nothing to live for. They've lost it, But I think the upbringing has a lot to do with why people, flip out and just, see what it is. Now, it hit the Asian community, and like you said, I don't think there's enough awareness on the different types of minorities that get hated on. And it's just, sometimes we focus on just, it's just black or Hispanics. But, I mean, it's like when they talk about, I always say this, they're like, oh, immigrants, they need to get rid of them, whatever party you're with. But when you use the word immigrant, you automatically associate immigrant with Mexicans. Yeah. Immigrants are Indians, they're Asians, they're every other...
French people.
Exactly. Yeah, right. Who all trying to get their visas, who are all part of that DACA program. It's not just Mexicans.
True.
So what happens is that, we categorize people, and unfortunately, it's just a domino effect, and, that's why you got to teach kids and adults to love each other. I think we talked about last night how... I read somewhere that we need to start learning to say I love you more. Yeah. When you meet somebody for the very first time, whether you know them or we're going to speak to them or not, if the first words you were going to say to that person was I love you, your demeanor and everything would be completely different than what they see on the flesh, Yeah. So that's just my whole thing on that.
Okay. How you feel, Paul?
I guess two quick things on that. First, like there has been a kind of like a growing groundswell of news reports of Asians being attacked in New York and California on the streets. Elderly Asian people are starting to pop up and trend online on Twitter. I'm starting to see that more frequently prior to this shooting, but it's time for the accountability to be equal par with all races. Like if it's a young white kid that goes and shoots up a bunch of Asians, now we trying to look into the family and is he mentally stable and all that. A black man kill a black man, he's just a thug and throw away the key.
True.
Like there's no forbearance, no forgiveness for us if we're a perpetrator of a crime, that everything else is explained away. Oh, well, I don't blame him, I blame his parents. No, we don't get blamed. We don't get that pass to blame our parents.
What I will say about that though is we shouldn't stop treating them like that. We should give our people also the look into their background and see where that comes from, what in their in their history made them do that, instead of just saying, oh, they're thugs, or they came from the hood, or
Right, but I think it also goes back to what Jose said, that's just so deeply ingrained in this country. So many generations still have to pass on for that to completely be eradicated, and it hadn't happened in 400 years. But as far as me personally, when I saw the news report and how the crime was committed, I started thinking of the Chinese flu, the Kung flu. How y'all brought that over here. Y'all did this to us. Y'all got us on lockdown. And I think there's some people that's just ready to ride. And you have those people in every race. Somebody who's ready to ride. And I feel like that he was just like, look, I'm sick of y'all. I'm finna go do this. And he did it in his right mind. You kill you kill the Asians, and other people didn't die. You go across the street, you hit them up, you kind of know what you're doing. So, racism is real, and reverse racism is real. We've talked about that on your show with the Coca-Cola deal. But I just think that he just did a domestic terrorist act, and he needs to be handled accordingly.
Yeah, that's true. Because I did see something that they put in the story. They were saying that the reason he was like attacking spas and like massage parlors is because something about like his sexual past.
He was a sexual deviant and all of that good stuff. But I'll tell him just like I tell the people who like to do the murder suicides. Do it in reverse order. If you're ready to check out, just kill yourself.
Yeah, true.
Leave your family out of this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
I will say that
it's natural selection at that point.
Right. And that's unfortunate. But I think that's going to be the narrative, that he was cuckoo and he had a sex addiction, and that the fact that he was arrested after killing 8 people, I mean, he's got a chance at due process.
And they use that in court to say why he doesn't deserve the death penalty.
Right. Or maybe early release.
Yeah, send the narrative early.
Right.
That's right.
So that brings me to like, we really don't understand what makes people good or bad, you know what I mean? So my question is, do y'all feel like people are good because they choose to be, or because they have no choice? So let me put it like this. Let's say a dude that doesn't fight, but he doesn't fight because he can't fight.
Okay.
But he's an angry dude, but he just doesn't fight because he can't fight. He won't, test nobody because he'll get his ass whooped. And they compare it to this other dude over here, who's a, trained martial artist and is very strong, but he doesn't fight because he chooses not to. He shows,
discipline,
control, discipline, stuff like that. Do you feel like most people are good because they just have no choice and this is what they have to do? They have to follow the laws and the rules, or because just morally inside they are good?
That's a good question.
That is a really good question.
That's an excellent question.
Excellent, man. Hey, come on with it. I think everybody does have a choice.
I gotta think about this.
When it comes down to it, though, like, you have a choice, but you can do whatever you want to do as long as you're okay with the consequences. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you want to slap your mama, you better be ready for something that's gonna come back and hold you. You know what I'm saying? So I think everybody they have a choice, but they get tested internally when they're faced with something that they really not ready for. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you hop in the car in the back seat, like, but we're about to go ride on these fools, and then you sitting there shaking like, I don't know if I should be in the back of this car. Listen to that. We have instincts for a reason. You know what I'm saying? We don't just, you know, we don't just kind of paint ourselves as like these hard. I mean, we do as like a defense mechanism, but when it really, when somebody tests it.
Most people really ain't about it.
You either about it or you not, and that's how you gonna find out. You gonna find out the hard way. Hard head, make a soft head.
Most of us ain't really.
Yeah, most of us ain't really about it.
Right.
No, really.
You find
out.
and
I think that's a good thing.
I think that's true.
Can you imagine the chaos if we
was just all really about what we was talking about? Oh man,
I think actually it would be safer though if everybody was like trained with their hands, and if you stepped out of line, somebody whoop your ass. I think we would be more peaceful as humans because we would have more respect.
We might be able, 100%. We might not be so quick to pick up a gun. We might be able to.
Yeah,
like,
think about it. If everybody had a gun, that means there would be less shootings because nobody's gonna point it. If everybody in this room had a gun, you know,
like the movie Stare Down when everybody's pointing at everybody.
If you tripping and you pull out a gun, everybody else gonna point it at you. So it's gonna, you know, instantly go bad on you.
That's a Texas thing too.
Yeah,
most definitely.
That's why I feel like it's not good to be harmless. You know what I mean? Harmless just means you weak and you can't do nothing. You don't have no choice in the matter. If you dangerous and you have control, that makes you a way better person than the dude that's harmless.
No, I think the person that's harmless in spite of, I think those are the ones you need to watch out for. Like me and Jose was talking yesterday, just in between breaks, about how you choose to be a loving person, how you choose to forgive, how you choose to be the bigger person, how you choose to be like, hey, I know we've been having a little something tension between us, but I just want to extend the olive branch and let you know that I love you, whether or not you're still mad at me or not. I think that was one of the
about praying for your enemies.
Right, praying for your enemies. That's what it was.
But that's also a dangerous person could do that though. Like if somebody that's strong, they could do that, and like is the bigger person, because somebody who's harmless is probably more than likely not going to do that. And I feel like that's the reason we don't keep scores for like pee-wee games anymore, because they try to make us harmless. They're not trying to make anybody a loser, but at the same time, we're not making anybody a winner.
Dang. Come on now.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Okay.
I'll say you chime in because your team love.
Yeah. My whole thing is that when it comes to wanting to be good or bad, it's all based on the environment that you were raised in.
Yeah.
And I say that because if you were raised, and I'll take it to a whole other level. If you were raised with a mother and a father, with unconditional love from people all around you, your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles, everybody like that, then that's all you know. Yeah. But what's so he had that child or person that's going to grow up to be an adult knows nothing but to be good. Yeah. So, but the bad thing about that is the minute they go into the real world, because they've been sheltered all their life. Yeah. Not nothing wrong with that, but they've been sheltered. The minute they go to, let's say, a public school or go to the real world, get a job, and they get, you know, in front of what we call escalated people. Yeah. They get scared. They shut down. Right. All of a sudden, it's like the tears coming out, the shaking going on, because they don't know how to react to that type of environment. They never had it. Nobody in their household. Mom and dad never yelled. Yeah. Mom and dad never cussed. So you know, mom and dad would go to the room and said, "Honey, can we go to the room? Because there's something I want to talk to you about."
Turn up that music real quick.
Exactly.
We're about to go in here.
Right. You know, where a lot of us, unfortunately, we grew up in an environment where mom and dad spoke their mind right there and then. The bell came off right there and then, and it was just, you know, because I would say in minorities and in general, we don't know how to control our emotions. We haven't been taught to do that, and so it continues to go generation to generation. That's why we don't sometimes think twice about what we say before we say it. Yeah. And that's why a lot of us men too are verbal abusers, because we don't know how to bite our tongue, we don't know how to choose our battles, and we don't know how to just be quiet or just walk away sometimes, right? We want to have the last word too sometimes, but I think it's really what it boils down to is a part of your environment. We all want to be good. A lot of us sometimes are not wired all the way on top. You know, I would joke around and say, boy, that boy's elevator does not go all the way to the top. You know, you can just tell straight up.
He missing a few floors up there, you know.
He's 2 beers short of a 6-pack. You know what I'm saying? So my whole thing is that if you grow up in that kind of environment, you want to do good, you know. But then there's also the ones who were raised in a very bad environment and just with all kind of negativity, but they know what not to do. Yeah, that's why you have that break in generation where if you were scolded so much, you're not doing that with your kids because you know now what the right thing is to do. So that's kind of how I see it.
Yeah, can I add on to that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense because I just wanted to touch on when Meek Mill was going through his whole probation thing.
Yeah.
And he had the guy on the news, and he was like, if you seen like 7 murders a day, wouldn't you carry a gun?
Exactly.
Like, he was like,
to protect yourself.
He's like, I think I would. So it's like, I don't think you're right. I don't think it boils down to like how you feel. It's just like it's a survival instinct.
That's true.
If you don't have to have your guard up, you not gonna have your guard up. Exactly. So that makes sense. You said a good thing.
Whenever it comes down to that, I don't think it really makes them like a bad person though, because that's more of just a survival instinct. But deep down, you know, they're still good. But then we also have people who are just generally bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bad seeds.
Yeah, bad seeds. No matter what their environment or anything.
Yes, I agree.
They're just
who sets the standard of like bad and good? Is it just like social acceptance at that point?
I don't really want to get into
because
social
there you can go forever to say what is good and what is bad because like, our interpretations are completely different.
That's true.
Yeah, we all have different thresholds,
right?
Of what we
we'll
consider
accept
good,
as well.
right?
Yeah.
Because like if you come from like you said, if you come from seeing people get shot 7-8 times a day, the person that's just robbing people may be a different level of bad than somebody in the suburbs, like you said, who's never even heard their parents argue.
Yeah.
You may have a warped view of who's good and who's bad. That's a great question, though.
It is because it goes both ways. The kid that got, just say, beat with the belt all his life. I know plenty of men who grew up and said, you know what? I'm glad my dad did that. He raised me to be a good person.
Yeah.
He taught me right from wrong, and he taught me consequences. Yeah. And he taught me that if I'm going to do something, there's going to be something bad. So had he not been on my ass back then, I would have acted a fool and been in the streets.
That's true.
They're not going to just whoop you on the butt.
I feel like that's where a big problem in our society comes today is because a lot of boys grew up with no higher authority, whether it be God or a father, and now they feel like, they king of the world now, and they don't have nobody else's interest in mind whenever they do something,
I totally agree with you on that, and I think that the generation, my generation and the generation right after mine dropped the ball on that as far as the African American community. A lot of the kids that I grew up with in the early 80s, we were the first kids that saw the devastation of the crack era. Of mass incarcerations and mass crackheadness.
Right.
To where when I grew up, everybody's father was in the house. The barbershop was full of men that were fathers. The policemen had black policemen that were fathers. It was black deacons at the church that were fathers, men everywhere. The guy had the barbershop, the guy had the bakery, the guy had the produce. Like, there were strong men everywhere. And that's when you could do the let them knuck it out, and then the men will come in and break you up and kind of give you a little pat on the back, like, that's right, son.
Yeah, shake it out.
You gotta. Sometimes you just gotta get lumped up, but you're gonna be all right, boy. Get up off that bike. That's right. Just dust your knee off and keep going.
Yeah.
When the men started going away and the women started having to fend for themselves,
that's right.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
As strong as the women are, and I got love for you.
Yeah, they're very strong.
You cannot replace a man in a boy's life. It's just, you can't be both.
Yeah, you can't be both.
Or if you are both, it's going to be a taxing, and you're not going to be good at either.
You're going to overcompensate.
You're going to overcompensate, which will make people entitled, and now they cussing you out at 17, 18.
I know.
Yeah. So now he's walking around like, man, mom, I'm always on my back, but she's really trying to like just compensate for what's missing in the house, and then you kind of got to give it credit. I don't think people really look at like the origin of things. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the reason why everything is the way it is because we were so tarnished and torn apart. You know what I'm saying?
And we're still trying to recover from that because some of them ain't coming home. Some of them died in jail, and some of them it's too late now. Your kids are already having kids.
They're already grown.
They already grown. Yeah. And without just trying the best they can. With what they're given, because they weren't given that as kids. Yeah. So man, it's one of those things that we're gonna have to work that out. I don't know how we're gonna fix it. Well, but hopefully with each
the way you fix it is one word, which we talk about all the time, is consistency.
Yeah, bringing the fathers back.
Keep talking about it.
But to piggyback off that is, I feel like there is an agenda to like take the fathers out the home, and it did start in the 80s, and because the father is the leader of the home. The father, and then the mother follows the father's role, and then she's the one that instructs the kid based off the father's, guidance. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like there's been an attack on the family and trying to separate them?
Yeah, most definitely, especially amongst minorities.
Oh yeah, for sure.
There's always been an attack on us, but the thing is, they keep having to reconstruct it because we keep adapting to it.
Yeah,
man, come on now.
Yeah.
Like the crack era, like it was detrimental to us, but we made a lot of money off of that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, we made a lot of money off of that, and now like
sometimes generational wealth.
Sometimes generational wealth off of things that they were trying to use to cut us up, and so we was like, all right, we just gonna take these little couple hits, and then we gonna make some money.
Yeah.
And then the rap game came. They was like, how y'all walking in the bank trying to get loans and stuff? It's like, oh, I'm spitting bars, like we was, you know what I'm saying? Like we was just adapting to it, but they keep having to like, okay, well, since this didn't work, we're gonna add to this because social media is a thing. And now I think social media is a thing that we ran into that we don't necessarily know how to navigate all the way.
Yeah, it's too
and
fast.
It's kind of like real detrimental. So we trying to like catch up to it before it's too late.
Right.
Most definitely.
Yeah. How y'all feel about that?
What was on the question about the
fathers? Are they trying to attack like the family dynamic?
I mean, I think that's been under attack since back in the days, 2,000 years ago. You know? And for me, I was a part of that era where my father left me when I was about 10 or 11, so it was 1991. Yeah. So 1991, that's that
era.
It was that era with the drugs, because it's crazy. I watch these Netflix movies, and it's the 80s and the 90s, and they flooded. It went from like marijuana to PCP and crack and everything that was out there. So my dad was a part of that era where the weed wasn't strong enough for him, so he had to keep going higher and higher and higher. So what happened eventually, he left, and so he ended up being homeless and traveling all across the U.S. Got reunited with him when I was a lot older, but he was already on his deathbed because his kidney was going out, caught kidney cancer, and died by the age of like 52, 53. And so, but it's one of those things that we live in a society, unfortunately, where it's okay now to not have the father and mother in the house, where we keep having kids and we're not there to take care of them because we don't know how to ride things out. We and I'm the first one to say I'm guilty of it. The minute I'm not happy, honestly, I want out. And it's because I am still learning as a man. People, this is one thing I hate when people tell me. I hate when people say, "Man, you're this age. You should already thinking about marriage again, or you should be thinking about you need to settle down, bro. What are you doing? You get too old to be in the streets."
Right.
But it's not like I'm hoeing around or doing this and that. My whole thing is that I still got goals and I want to be doing this and doing that. But that's one thing I don't like is people. They put, what is the word I'm looking for, where they say
constriction.
You need to be doing this by the time, you need to be married by 25, you need to have a kid by 30.
Expectations.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Expectations on a certain person's life, and that's one thing I don't like, and I don't. Exactly. This is a scale, and why aren't you here, or why aren't you financially here, or what it may be. We all come from different backgrounds, and my whole thing is that if you're fortunate enough to be with the same partner and raise your child, be there. If it doesn't work with that situation, that's not an excuse. You still need to be there for your child. I didn't get a chance to see my son this weekend. So, what did I do? I went to go pick him up Tuesday. We went to the mall. We went to go eat dinner. We went to go do, you got to supplement that time because that's something we can't get back. Yeah. And just because your paper says you're going to get him every other weekend, that don't mean that that's the only time you can see him.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that, I hear a lot of excuses. Well, she don't let me see him. You know what? How about you just make it a point to show up and stand outside the house and just throw the football with them? And even if they call the cops, I can almost guarantee the cops are not gonna get mad at you for throwing the football with your son in front of their house.
Look,
that's
she knows
facts.
she needs a break.
That's facts.
She knows she needs that break. She's tired. That's an exhausting job for two people.
Absolutely.
She knows she's tired. Go on, lay down and let him throw the ball with his son.
Yeah. But you see what I'm saying? Because being a mother is not easy, And not only that, they normally have children with other relationships or with you, whatever it may be. But I just think that it's we as human beings, we're just trying to find that balance. And I don't know what that balance is, guys. I'm going to tell y'all firsthand as a man, I don't know where that balance is as far as a relationship, a father. And, career, you know, it's just it's hard, you know, and men and women both experience it the same token, but we try to carry that load, you know, and the older I'm getting, I'll be honest with y'all, I've learned to be, and I had this conversation with him last night, is I told him straight to his face, you need to be more selfish.
He did tell me that.
And sometimes I wish somebody would have told me that years ago.
Yeah, me too.
Because I was warned about, I'm a people pleaser.
Yeah.
So I want to take care of people. I'm a nurturer, right? But if you keep doing that, like the person explained to me, you know, told me, Jose, if you don't ever pull over and refill your tank, how do you expect to take care of these other people?
Oh, man.
Your car eventually going to break down.
Yeah.
And that's what happened to me about a year ago is I shut down everything. And I don't wish that on anybody. So you can't be a good father. You can't be a good husband. You can't do that if you're not taking care of yourself and you know, doing right and stuff like that. So that's my thing.
Yeah, I agree with you. And me and Dizzy, we bumped heads on a number of different topics. And I've always learned something at the end of it. You know, when I hear his side, I always got something to take away from it to kind of balance the scale. But on this one, I agree with you 1,000,000% that there was a planned attack to get the man up out the paint. And it may have started with the black community as far as to neutralize the civil rights movement because the Black Panthers were growing so strong. Drugs destroyed the Black Panther Party, and at that point it was every man for themselves. You know, then the gangs just came in to replace the Black Panthers, and the civil rights movement was replaced by the gangster rap era, and then we just kind of just turned on each other. Now I bet they was like, dang, I didn't think it was going to do like that. But even if you look at assistance, we'll give you a place to stay, woman, but the second we catch a man's shoes up under your bed, you lose your benefits. You know, we'll let you stay here rent free, or we'll pay you. We'll let you have some $30 rent. But if you get a boyfriend, he better marry you today, or else you're gonna lose your benefits. They do house sweeps, and she's having to put the man out the house, even if he wants to take care of the situation. The man got to stay somewhere else. So yes, 1,000%, 1,000,000% agree that it was a planned attack to get the man out the house.
And I feel like that within itself is the reason, like, there's problems within the dating world and the dynamics between men and women is because the men of, like, you know, the past, the fathers and everything have made the women too rigid. So since women got left by themselves, they taught the daughters who are grown now, becoming the women now, to, you know, don't depend on no man. You go and get it, you know, be good. And we have these alpha females, like you said, but at the same time, they taught their boys to be like beta boys. Make sure your woman is good. Stay by your woman no matter what. Make sure she's good. And that's the dynamic that's weird because it's kind of like flipped. Because the woman was supposed to make sure your man is good, and the man's supposed to like take care, like almost like a father of the woman. How do you feel about that?
You hit the nail on the head.
He
right
sure
there.
did. He sure did.
There is this disconnect between man and woman right now. I think it has us very confused. Like, especially the men out here who like you said, like they're taught to treat a woman right with respect. and stuff,
open the door.
Yeah, open the door, but then they get called corny when they go do that on the block. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
you simping.
It's like, yo, you simping. Like, what you doing, bro? We don't do none of that. And but I think the disconnect has like, all right, so men, we have a price tag on this now, right? Yeah. It's like if you don't buy like a Birkin bag or, you know, pay bills or stuff like that, then you automatically just not qualified to be any type of man relationship and like that. But like, so like women are growing up thinking like, yo, if I get this Birkin bag, I'm gonna be he gonna be make me the happiest person, not knowing they gonna want that cuddling at night, him to be home at a certain time, him to take care of things at the crib. You know what I'm saying? Because like how it is now, basically they're saying like, as long as I buy you these things, I can act a fool. Right. I can do whatever I want because I got you this and I made you happy. Now shut up.
Damn. My whole take on this is that I don't know what the rules are for men and women. And when I say that, you know, I've been in a few relationships, and the ones I've been in, I go to, let's just say, you know, Paul been married for 25 years. You know what the first question I'm asking Paul? Yeah. How do y'all pay y'all's bills? Something that simple. Yeah. It's never been told to me. Is this something I was raised that I pay the rent, I pay the let's say that I pay the big bills, you pay the little bills, and then that's it. But I talk to people in relationships, they be like, oh no, we do everything 50-50. Why would he pay the bigger ones? Like, no, like it's equal. Like we both work, we can both pay bills. And but I'm thinking back in my mind, man, I wish I could have that. You know what I'm saying? But again, I'm just like, am I less of a man because I'm wanting to do that? And again, I don't, to this day, I don't know what's right or wrong, because people will end up doing what they saw their parents doing. So if mom never paid no bills, you think that girl, when she gets married, gonna pay bills?
Nah.
She's eliminating you before y'all even get to the bills. If you're not with that.
But what I will say about that though is, like, that should be the goal, but it's harder now because of like inflation and the prices of everything is way higher. Back in the day, you could have got like a $600, apartment.
Exactly.
Now, broke apartments with windows cracked and everything is like $1,000.
Right.
In the worst neighborhoods.
Right.
True.
And the thing that happened to the man is we went from being the pillar and the backbone of the house and the community to being a part-time job for these women. She can have a baby by you, take your child support, do that part-time. She's staying with her mama.
Yeah.
They all in the house living well. Yeah. Somebody's paying the bills in there. She got her own job. So she have a baby by me. Hey, I'm gonna need you to drop this off every such and such. Come get your kid when I'm ready to go to
the club.
Essence Fest. No, I'm gonna say Essence Fest for my age group. Most of the women in this age, they got kids that's almost grown. So like they trying to get
with their own kids.
Right. But they, so it's like we like an extra income now. Like, you ain't got to come over every day. And then that leaves us. Well, cool. We fall for that. Oh, word.
Yeah, I just got paid. So
all I gotta do is just kind of do me and just pay on the side, and every other weekend. That's a good setup because they didn't come up with a man in the house.
No.
So like you said, there was no template. Who they gonna ask? Their uncle, he locked up.
That's what was a template.
The other uncle, he may not even, whatever. And nowadays, so like. A lot of these young guys are like, well, okay, well, cool. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I'm gonna get my kid when I need to get my kid. Whenever she blow me up and absolutely needs some shoes,
or put me on blast on Facebook.
Oh, they still do that.
I see a lot of people do that. They still do that.
Yeah, Facebook blast is a common thing. Everybody be putting their business out there. I be like, whoa.
Yeah.
I post memes on here. Y'all over here talking about your life.
And y'all stop posting when y'all get y'all stimulus check because everybody know where you live. Everybody waiting in the bushes on you.
Right.
But everybody got that.
And they know you got 5 kids, so they know what kind of money you got.
I saw one of your posts saying that you counting kids and far as stimulus checks near Walmart. Like,
I got that from DJ Avi. He said you got about
6,000. You got about
6,000.
Follow out to the car.
Let me see what you got.
Is it like? Do you think it's like they have a reason to be like how they are right now? It's like women. It's like a revenge thing going on.
I don't think it's a revenge thing. I think that was lied to. It's two things. One, the men have gotten weaker. One by the teaching, also just by lack of like testosterone through the food and everything. So men aren't as motivated anymore. And then two, the Sex and the City lifestyle was sold to them when that was never true. Women aren't really happy just being alone and getting money, because men, the reason we get money is because it's like game points to us. We trying to get as much points as possible. That's why men always
win the game.
To win the game, and we would always give the money to our women. And now women, they're trying to compete with us and get points like us, but knowing that we just like the points for not really for the money but for the value. Now they're like, oh, we got this money and we're single and we can't really find a guy who's better than us because we doing good. So now we just sitting unhappy. They got lied to.
But in fairness to them, I'll say a large majority of them is kind of like what you said with black people in general. And I'm speaking of all races, all people right now. But it's the same principle. They had to survive and adapt.
That's what I say.
They had to survive and adapt.
Back to what you said, when the man left, they were forced to maybe work 2 jobs.
If he ain't coming home in 20,
if he went to jail, they were forced to do what they had to do.
She got to do what she got to do.
So and they had to become mom and dad.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Women want a man that's like better than them. You know what I mean? Not better as like.
Why would you say better or
not better, but like
really equal? I mean, do they really want to be equal though?
That's a lie also, but they want a man who's gonna lead them. They want a leader man.
I do agree with that.
So they want a man that's like doing.
I don't know.
They don't follow a whim.
I think men want to give, like everything that a woman wants us to do, like off jump. We like want to give that to our women.
We like here. We take care of you.
It's just
like
we
want them happy.
When it's forced on us, it's like, okay, hold on, I'm not really ready.
Yeah, I ain't really
rocking with that. Look with me. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get you that. I want to get you that, but like it's gonna take some time. But not right off the jump. I just met you.
You hit that right on the dot.
Whoa, so dang, this was a great episode. I appreciate everybody
doing
part two.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do a part 2 of this.
I would love
We're gonna do a part 2 of this, and it's definitely gonna happen. But we're gonna go around the room real quick, and you're gonna tell everybody where they can find you at. We're gonna start with my boy Ced.
Oh, all right, man. If y'all on Instagram, follow me at Ced.Gandhi, Gandhi. I do a show, Want to Argue, on Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9:30 Eastern Time for the people who don't know they, time zones. Yeah, follow me, man. Thank you so much for having me, bro.
Hey, you're welcome. I appreciate you coming on.
You can find me on Instagram at Yatu Sabes Radio, Jose Huerta on Facebook. You can go on my website as well at yatusabesradio.com. I'm on Fishbowl Radio Network every Monday and Wednesday night from 9 to 11 p.m. And if you ever want to come on my show, you're more than welcome to inbox me. I would love to have you on. And David, again, thank you for having me on. Thank you for considering me on here, man, because I think it's important with what you're doing because women need to hear us. We need to hear, give our inputs. And I love how, you made this very diverse because we all come from different experiences, ages, backgrounds, and everything like that. So kudos to you for putting this together because as soon as you said that, I was like, is Jada and Will going to be there tonight? Are they going to make an appearance?
Yeah,
so, what they're doing is great. And this is, we need more of this because these conversations just don't happen anymore. Nah. Would you agree, Paul?
I would agree.
They just don't happen.
And where they can find you, Paul?
You can find me on Cash App at $PL Colter.
Man, that's a smart man.
COLTER.
I like
Call it your boy.
Smart.
And before we go, I actually have something special for you guys. On the 23rd, I'm actually dropping a song with my boy Lero and King Malik. But tonight on the Red Pill Experience, and this is my first time doing it on Thursday night at 8 p.m. And I'm going to be doing it at this time from now on. I'm going to give y'all an exclusive of this new song. Y'all just let me know what y'all think. Go ahead and hit it, Paul. I'm so turned up, I don't get no fucks. Younger from the dub tryna run it up. Looking at the crown, ain't grab it like, ayy. Money on my mind, ain't worried about a bitch. Get a stack, double dab, make that whole flip. Get up on my dick, I ain't worried about shit. Just a young man tryna get real rich. I'm so turned up, I don't get no fucks. Younger from the dub tryna run it up. Looking at the crown, ain't grab it like, ayy. Money on my mind, ain't worried about a bitch. Get a stack, double dab, make that whole flip. Get up on my dick, I ain't worried about shit. Just a young man tryna get real rich.
Hey, just a young man tryna get real rich. Got a lesbo bitch tryna get real dick. I don't care about the shorty, I'm still gon' hit. Hey, brand new 40, I don't feel no kid. Life of the party, you know us. Them hoes gon' show out when we show up. We just been running the score up. She just want fuck on the tour bus. I don't want hit it if she ain't got no butt. I don't want drive it if I can't do donuts. Say they been sliding, but I don't need no bruh. I'm with the slums, I feel like a cobra. We on the rise, them niggas below us. Ay, I told her hang my coat up. New baby 9, she never gon' grow up. Bandit business, double B's, the gang I throw up.
I'm so turned up, I don't get no fucks. Younger from the dub tryna run it up. Looking at the crown, ain't grab it like, ayy. Money on my mind, ain't worried about a bitch. Get a stack, double dab, make that whole flip. Get up on my dick, I ain't worried about shit. Just a young man tryna get real rich. I'm so turned up, I don't get no fucks. Younger from the dub tryna run it up. Looking at the crown, ain't grab it like, ayy. Money on my mind, ain't worried about a bitch. Get a stack, double dab, make that whole flip. Get up on my dick, I ain't worried about shit. Just a young man tryna get real rich.
Bitch, I get turned with them bandits. Got guns on the floor in the pantry. Got bitches won't fuck off my name. Like a disco, my diamonds be dancing. Bitch, I got so much money on me. Got me hot, bitch, I might have to fan me. I had to run it up. Cause even handouts ain't too handy. Bitch, I'm lit like a lobby. Got your bitch right beside me. We ain't tripping on no thotty. Focus on the money, ain't getting these profits. Stupid ass hoes, they always flocking. Bitch ass niggas, they always jocking. Bitch, I'm with L's, I told them hit dizzy. Bitch, we hit a spot and you know we gon' rock it.
I'm so turned up, I don't get no fucks. Younger from the dub tryna run it up. Looking at the crown, ain't grab it like, ayy. Money on my mind, ain't worried about a bitch. Get a stack, double dab, make that whole flip. Get up on my dick, I ain't worried about shit. Just a young man tryna get real rich. I'm so turned up, I don't get no fucks. Younger from the dub tryna run it up.
Looking at the crown, they ain't grab it like, ayy. Money on my mind, I ain't worried about a bitch. Get a stack, double down, make that whole flip. Get up on my dick, I ain't worried about shit. Just a young man trying to get real rich,
Turn up, I don't get no fuck. Looking for the dough, trying to run it up. Looking at the crown, they ain't grab it like, ayy. Money on my mind, I ain't worried about a bitch. Get a stack, double down, make that whole flip. Get up on my dick, I ain't worried about shit. Just a young man trying to get real rich. I told him turn up, I don't get no fuck. Looking for the dough, trying to run it up. Looking at the crown, they ain't grab it like, ayy. Money on my mind, I ain't worried about a bitch. Get a stack, double down, make that whole flip. Get up on my dick, I ain't worried about shit. Just a young man trying to get real rich.